You're listening to Fever 104 FM, the Pop of Bollywood. My name is Darius and this is our weekend special show called The Dons of Bengaluru.
The Dawn of Radio.
All our regular listeners know that from now all the way up to 8 o'clock, we'll shift focus away from Bollywood and music and we'll bring the focus onto people or issues or institutions that we need to talk about. People and things that are really integral to the fabric of our city. And today we're going to talk to a corporate trainer. He's a professional speaker, he's a filmmaker, he's a theatre professional. Deepak Justin, thank you so much for joining us this evening, Deepak.
Hi, Darius. How are you doing?
It's great to have you on air with us. I'm doing really fine. I'm really looking forward to talking about your 100 speech marathon that's coming up next Saturday. Because that's in aid of a very special cause, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, Deepak, could you explain to us what exactly is a corporate trainer and how did you get into it?
Well, everybody, be it an organization or an educational institution or even in our personal lives, we all want to progress, we all want to excel in our lives. But there are certain things that are actually hindering us from our progress. And if you look at it at a deeper level, you realize that there are two basic things that go ahead and stand as hindrances. One is the skill set and other is a mindset. And a corporate trainer is a person who goes ahead and stands as a bridge to go ahead and bridge the gap between where people are and where they want to be. So a corporate trainer eventually goes ahead and realizes people at the various levels. At the very elementary level, people need what's called as functional skills or technical skills. For example, an accountant needs accounting skills, a software engineer needs coding skills. And as they grow slightly higher up, they need other skills like interpersonal skills, decision-making skills, and problem-solving skills. And as they go even more higher up, they need conceptual skills. So I guess if they are able to go ahead and shift the mindset to something quite positive and progressive and to hone their soft skills or the behavioral skills and the technical skills, I think there's no stopping their goals.
Well, you know what? I understood every single thing you said. It made so much sense, but yet I'm still not completely sure what a corporate trainer does. How did you get into this, Deepak?
Well, I love public speaking, actually. I think that's probably one of the very few gifts that I had, which came pretty naturally to me. And I define talent as something that comes naturally to you. A lot of people say that talent is something which you're born with. You're actually born with nothing. And I believe that public speaking came a bit naturally to me. So I had to find a profession that goes ahead and pays me for going ahead and speaking. And I found that, yes, training was one. Unfortunately, I didn't make the cut as a radio jockey. Otherwise, I would have been in contention with you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because you speak so well. You would give any archer a good run for their money. And since we've mentioned money so many times, it's incredible. You also mentioned, making a living. That's our next question that's coming from one of our listeners, Anand, who wants to know whether you can really make a living out of just talking, apart from being an RJ. Okay, we'll come back and talk about that next on Fever 104 FM with our guest today on the Dons of Bengaluru, Deepak Justin. Our guest today on the Dons of Bengaluru is a corporate trainer, professional speaker, filmmaker, theatre professional, winner of numerous national and international awards from Poets International, Lions International, Toastmasters International. Ladies and gentlemen, Deepak Justin.
The Dawn of Radio.
My name is Darius. This is Fever 104 FM, the Pop of Bollywood. It's our weekend special show, The Dons of Bengaluru. And Deepak, just before this, you were explaining to us what exactly a corporate trainer does and how you got into it, because you were such a great public speaker, naturally, from the time you were very young.
I would say great speaker, but...
You sound like a fantastic speaker, DJ. You mentioned making a living, and I also mentioned money, and immediately Anand has messaged in to say that, can you really make a living by being a professional speaker?
Of course you can. As a matter of fact, Brian Tracy, one of the most influential motivational speakers in the world, says that professional speakers are one of the highest paid professions in the world. And today, I think it depends on the way in which you differentiate yourself and the way you position yourself. And there are a lot of opportunities out there. You could be a corporate trainer, you could be a keynote address speaker, you could be a motivational speaker, or you could just position yourself as a special occasion speaker. Like you want to go ahead and be a person who raises a toast for weddings and for special occasions, or you're a person who is an anchor for important functions and events. So there's several ways in which you could go ahead and position yourself. Today, again, stand-up is big money. So I guess knowing where you are good at, trying to go ahead and hone your competencies and trying to go ahead and make a mark, and eventually you go ahead and become a brand and people call you for your brand value.
You've mentioned many different things that you can do as a professional speaker. You've
That's
said
right.
Keynote, you've said raise a toast, you've said stand up, and you do all of this, and you're going to do a 100 speech marathon this coming Saturday, and it's to raise money for a really good cause. We haven't spoken about that. We should, and we'll do that right up next on Fever 104 FM. Our guest today on the Dons of Bengaluru is going to be doing a 100 speech marathon on the coming Saturday.
The Dawn of Radio.
name is Deepak Justin. He's a corporate trainer and a professional speaker. He's also a filmmaker, a theatre professional. He's got like numerous awards, Poets International, Lions International, Toastmasters. You've done a lot of work with Toastmasters, right, Deepak?
Yes.
Yeah, we should talk about that. Anyway, my name's Darius. This is Fear 104 FM, Dawns of Bangalore. And this weekend on Saturday, you're going to be conducting a 100 speech marathon. And this is in aid of Navdeep Reddy. So first, let's find out who exactly is Navdeep Reddy.
Navdeep Reddy is a small boy from a small town but with very big dreams. He comes from a very poor background, but recently he contracted cancer and he's given up on his education. He dreams of becoming a district collector and going ahead and helping the people of his little village. And because of his present condition, he's totally stuck in life, and because his father is just an agricultural farmer and he does not have much money to go ahead and fund for his education, leave alone his education, even to go ahead and provide for his health. This is a particular program that is warranted to go ahead and raise funds for the little boy so that we give him a chance to go ahead and fight cancer.
All right, listen. What exactly are you going to do at this 100 speech marathon that's coming up on Saturday?
Okay, public speaking is considered to be the world's #1 fear. There's an old joke in public speaking circles. You put a person at gunpoint in front of a lectern and say, if you're not going to speak, I'm going to pull the trigger. And the guy is going to say, no problem, pull the trigger, because the fear of death is ranked at number 5, but the fear of public speaking is ranked at number 1. So to give a speech for most people is a difficult task. And here I'm trying to attempt 100 speeches in every possible genre of public speaking, right from welcome address to a keynote to an inspirational speech to a motivational speech to a TED talk to a sermon to a classroom lecture to raising a toast to a stand-up.
Yeah.
Yes, every possible genre that I could possibly
Back to back,
conceive
how
of.
long is this going to take you?
Approximately about 10 to 12 hours.
Wow. And you're doing all this to raise money?
Yes.
For Navdeep Reddy?
That's right.
How do we donate? How do we support this cause?
Yes, there is a link that is provided across by milap.org, which is the crowdfunding platform that is going to go ahead and assist in raising funds for this little boy.
All right, so get to Milap and search for Deepak Justin or Navdeep Reddy. We're going to come back with more information on the 100 speech marathon that Deepak is doing this coming Saturday to raise money for Navdeep. More details coming up next on Fever 104 FM. You're listening to Fever 104 FM, the pop of Bollywood. My name's Darius and this is the weekend special show called The Dawns of Bangalore.
The Dawn of Radio.
We're almost halfway through the show and all the way up till 8 o'clock. We'll shift focus away from Bollywood and music and bring the focus onto issues that we need to talk about. And today we're speaking to Deepak Justin, who's a corporate trainer and a professional speaker, filmmaker, theatre personality and everything. But Deepak, you're doing something fantastic. You're doing a 100 speech marathon on the coming Saturday to raise money for Navdeep Reddy, who's a young boy who's been diagnosed with cancer. And you want to raise money to help him fund his treatment as well as so that he can continue his education, which is fantastic. You never give us details on where it's being held and what all we can expect.
Yeah, it's going to be held at the St. Joseph's Institute of Management on Primrose Road in Bangalore. The entry is absolutely free. People can come whenever they want. They can leave whenever they want. And the idea is to go ahead and give people a feel of how every single speech can be given. There's
100 speeches you're going
right.
to do. Across how long is this going to take?
It's going to take approximately 10 to 12 hours.
That's crazy, man. I don't know how you're going to keep going. At least the thought of the good work you're going to be doing for Navdeep Reddy is going to be motivational enough. And I hope we've motivated people to feel like they should support you in this endeavor. And if they want to, how do they reach out? Can you repeat the details once again for us?
Yes, it's milap.org, spelled as MILAAP. .org. You could search for Help Navdeep Fight Cancer, or you could just search for Deepak Justin, as Darius said.
Yeah, just Google search either of these names, Deepak Justin or Help Navdeep Reddy Fight Cancer on Milap, or you add Milap into the mix and you'll get all the details over there. Deepak, you mentioned one more thing. You said that public speaking is the #1 fear in the world.
That's right.
So 3 tips on to help someone overcome this fear of public speaking.
I strongly believe that to be a good speaker in public, you need to be a good thinker in private. So the first thing is become a better thinker. Several ways in which you can become a better thinker: read more, associate with people who can go ahead and talk sense, and eventually try to go ahead and have your silent reflections on various issues of life. The second thing is there's something called stage time. Try to go ahead and have as much of stage time. The more you go ahead and face your fears, the less you start fearing it in the near future. And the third thing is just enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey is good advice for almost anything. I know that your journey included Toastmasters International, where you won a number of accolades. And, as an RJ, a lot of people also come to me and ask me, how to become better speakers. And I always recommend that they join Toastmasters. So let's come back and talk about your role in Toastmasters and what Toastmasters actually does up next on Fever 104 FM. If you've always wanted to become a better public speaker, then listen really carefully because this question is just for you.
The Dawn of Radio.
My name is Darius. This is the Dawns of Bangalore on Fever 104 FM, the Bop of Bollywood. This weekend we're talking to Deepak Justin, who's a corporate trainer and professional speaker, which is really great. And but you're also doing something incredible, which is a 100-speech marathon the coming Saturday to raise funds for the cancer treatment for a young boy named Navdeep Reddy. He's looking at people supporting him in this endeavor. So if you are motivated to help him raise more money for this young boy's cancer treatment, please search on milap.org or just search on Google for Navdeep Reddy Fight Cancer or Deepak Justin, and all the details are there. But Deepak, you've been a 2 times distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest level of recognition you can get from Toastmasters International. Everyone who I meet who wants to know how to become a better speaker, I always recommend them to join Toastmasters. But can you tell us, what exactly does Toastmasters do?
Well, Toastmasters was started in the year 1924 at a place called Santa Ana, California, in the United States of America, with a single-minded mission of making effective communication a worldwide reality. Over the period of time, Toastmasters has evolved as a movement, and today it goes ahead and grooms leaders. And communication still being the base, the idea is to go ahead and make better leaders for a better tomorrow. So Toastmasters has a very well-structured module in which you can go ahead and address everything. Like you have well-researched, time-tested and proven modules at every facet to go ahead and help you in this journey of making yourself a better speaker.
And does it cost a lot of money to do this?
It's a non-profit social organization, but I think the monies are taken for your membership and for the place where people meet.
How do we get in touch with Toastmasters International?
You can just log on to Toastmasters, and I think Bangalore heads the country in having the maximum number of Toastmasters clubs in the country.
Bangalore's heading the country on many different things. All right, let's come back and talk about acting, because I know that you're the chief catalyst of an acting studio as well. So let's talk about journeys in acting and theatre up next on Fever 104 FM. If you dream of having your name as starring so-and-so by Sanjay Leela Bansali or whoever it is, then listen very carefully, because we've got the chief catalyst of an acting studio as a guest today on the Dawns of Bangalore.
The Dawn of Radio.
His name is Deepak Justin, and he does a whole bunch of things. He's a corporate trainer, a professional speaker, he's a filmmaker, a theatre professional. He's won national awards, international awards from Lions International, Toastmasters International, Poets International. He's also conducting a 100-speech marathon on the coming Saturday. I keep reminding people about this because you're doing this, Deepak, to raise funds for a young boy, Navdeep Reddy, who has cancer, and you're doing this to help fund his treatment and his future studies, which is really fantastic. If anyone wants to support Deepak Justin in this 100-speech marathon, please log on to Milap or Google search Deepak Justin or Navdeep Reddy Fights Cancer, and you'll get all the details over there. Listen, you're the chief catalyst, Deepak, of an acting studio that grooms prospective actors. So I've got a question that's coming from Ravi, who says that he's pretty good looking. He's done acting in school and college, but now he's graduated from college and he wants to pursue acting professionally in Mumbai. What advice do you have for him?
Ravi, you're in the best place as far as acting is concerned, because you're in the mecca of acting. Well, we're all actors. I think you try to put yourself in a spot and people immediately try to go out and camouflage things. But the problem is when you are put on stage and the spotlight is on you, or probably the camera turns on and you're asked to act, you become very conscious and you probably don't act as naturally as you normally do. So I think acting is actually trying to go ahead and understand what the sequence is and connecting with the audience. So today, good looks are just one thing, but I think connecting with your audiences is something else. So I'd say, Ravi, if you are looking forward to being an actor, try to go ahead and meet as many people as possible. Try to understand the nuances as how people behave. Try to read body language, work on your voice, and most importantly, work on the mindset. And you are there. It's called the golden triangle of acting. The mind, the voice, and the body put together, and you become an actor. Okay. And just one advice I have for you: act before it's too late.
Act before it's too late. Yeah, he's got age on his side, not like me. But once he gets to Bombay, I mean, do you have any recommendations where to go or what to do? Because I think that's the big fear that all of us have. That Bombay is this big machine of a city, and how do I tackle it?
There are so many options that are available today. Today there are web series, there are short films that are made, there are corporate films, there are ad commercials. So I think you need to go ahead and get your portfolio done. And after that, when you try to go out and audition, and again, there's a craft when it comes to auditioning, because a lot of people believe auditioning is all about just reading the lines. It's not. It's actually getting under the skin of the character and trying to go out and live it. And when a director goes ahead and sees that, he sees merit in a particular actor, and that's why he goes and considers the actor.
All the best to you, Ravi. I can guarantee you that the journey ahead is not going to be easy, but if you stick to it and you do well, the fruits will be very juicy. All right, we've got a couple more last questions for our guest today, Deepak Justin, all coming up next on Fever 104 FM. You're listening to Fever 104 FM, the Bop of Bollywood. My name is Darius, and this is our weekend special show, The Dons of Bengaluru.
The Dawn of Radio.
Our guest today on the Dons of Bengaluru is Deepak Justin. He's a corporate trainer, professional speaker, filmmaker, theatre professional, and you're doing something really incredible. Amongst all these things that you have time for, you've got all these international awards and events and competitions that you attend and win. You've squeezed in time to do something called a 100 speech marathon, and you're going to be doing it on this coming Saturday. Now, you're doing this in aid of Navdeep Reddy. Can you tell us about him and what's going to happen at the event?
Navdeep Reddy is a small boy with big dreams, and his dreams are today shattered, or I would say just on hold, because of a small impediment that he's having, and that is cancer. And he comes from a very humble background, so he's looking for support and aid in order to go ahead and facilitate his journey and bouncing back to the state of normalcy. So this 100 speech marathon is primarily to go ahead and focus on raising funds for this little boy. And it's also to go ahead and show that a person can push his limits and try to go ahead and face one of the world's greatest fears, which is public speaking. Not just once, but for 100 times.
It's incredible to think that you're doing 100 speeches. It's going to take you, at least 10 hours?
At least.
At least 10 hours to do this, right? And you've got speeches which are going to be stand-up and a eulogy in there. You've got a toast, an inspirational speech, a TED Talk, all of it put together. I know I'm repeating myself. You're looking at me like, Darius, you've said this already. I know I've said this at the beginning of the show, but I'm repeating it again because I want our listeners to support you, right? You're doing something incredible, 100 speeches back to back. It's going to be incredible. What are they going to get out of this? If someone comes and listens to you, what do they get out of this?
Okay, there's several occasions in life where people are just called to speak. And today, almost every other occasion, people are called to speak. If a person joins a company, there's an icebreaker speech. If a person leaves a company, there's a farewell speech. And suddenly someone calls you in a meeting and they say, why don't you go out and speak a few words? If you're going to a wedding, then people say that, why don't you go out and raise a toast? Why don't you go out and give a felicitation to someone in a meeting? So I think there are several occasions where people actually call forward to going ahead and speaking. And here I will be going ahead and doing the live demo as to how the various speeches would be given and the possibilities also. So people come and see, and everything is categorized in capsules so that people can go ahead and select the capsules that they want. And if they just want to stay back for the whole thing, yes, they're more than welcome to go ahead and do so.
They get tips on how to become better professional speakers, because
That's
you
right.
are a really great professional speaker. And of course, what's really special is that all of this is to raise money for Navdeep Reddy's treatment for his cancer and for his future education. If they want to support you, how do they get the details?
You can just go on to milap.org, spelled as MILAAP.org. You just search for Help Navdeep Fight Cancer. You get all the details over there, and you can just go ahead and sign up.
Yeah, or just do it in a Google search. Just do Deepak Justin helps Navdeep Reddy fight cancer. You'll get the details over there. Fill in the details. It's been fantastic chatting with you, Deepak. I've got one last question coming for you next. It's what I usually think is the most important question of the interview. He's a corporate trainer, professional speaker, filmmaker, theatre professional, winner of so many national and international awards. Twice he's been the Distinguished Toastmasters, which is the highest level of recognition from Toastmasters International. Our guest today on the Dons of Bengaluru is Deepak Justin.
The Dawn of Radio.
My name is Darius, this is Fever 104 FM. It's the end of our weekend special show called The Dons of Bengaluru. And this is the most important question, Deepak, that I ask all our listeners, which is, what is your message for our city?
The greatest accusation about Bangalore city is the traffic. And the other day I was stuck in a traffic jam. I was there with my 2.5-year-old son. The signal was red, but it turned green. I didn't quite realize it had turned green. And my 2.5-year-old son just shrugs me and he says, "Go, Papa, go." And if there's a message for Bangalore City that I have, it is just this: go Bangalore, go. Because there's so many red signals that go out and flash across your way in the form of obstacles. Don't let them stop you. Go Bangalore, go. There are a lot of red signals in your own mind that go ahead and come in the form of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Don't let them stop you. Go Bangalore, go.
Don't let any red signal stop you. If it's in your mind, if it's on the road, please do stop. It's been fantastic talking to you, Deepak. Justin, I'm reminding everyone that Deepak is doing a 100 speech marathon. It's happening this Saturday. He's going to do a stand-up, a eulogy, a toast, a inspiration speech, a TED Talk, all of these back-to-back across 10 hours. All the details are available on milap, milaap.org, because he's doing this to raise money for the treatment of a young, marginalized Navdeep Reddy to help pay for his education and his treatment. Thank you so much for the work you're doing and all the best for your journey. It was fantastic meeting you, Deepak.
Thank you so much, Darius. You're an amazing host.
Thank you.